MacVoices at NAB Show 2025. MacVoices is in Las Vegas for NAB Show. I'm Chuck Joyner. Folks, this is going to be my favorite interview of the show because I get to talk to an old friend, I get to talk to a new friend, and talk about something we all enjoy. Terri is here from Luma Touch. Terri, it's great to see you.
Thanks, Chuck. It's nice to be here.
And Caroline is the superstar demonstrator of Luma Touch. Caroline, I keep doing that. It's great to meet you.
It's great to meet you too. Thank you.
Yes, I feel like I know you from all the videos I've seen you do. So,
well, I was saying earlier, I feel like I know you because every year at NAB you're always around interviewing everyone. So it's a pleasure to be interviewed. Thank you.
Well, it's great to be here. So you two just finished off a session that was well attended here in the Creator Lab on the show floor. Terri, you and I have talked so often about the fun of editing, and I was curious to see how that translated to the folks that came up to talk to you two afterwards. Did they get the fun part, or is it just, oh, this is another tool to put in my toolbox?
No, I think what I noticed is people feeling hopeful because you're flooded with so much technology at NAB that it can be overwhelming. And I think the perception can be that, oh my gosh, if I'm going to be successful as an editor, I'm going to need to learn all this stuff, or I'm going to need to buy all this stuff, or it's going to be expensive or hard. And when they see how easy and fun it is to edit, like I love to edit, you know that they kind of go, wow, maybe I could do this and actually enjoy it. And when you enjoy what you're doing, you really can be creative.
And it turns into not work.
Yeah, not work. That's what I'm all about.
That's why I love my job, because I get to edit all day and I enjoy editing so much that I was saying to Terri this morning, you just look up at the clock and the time has just gone because you're so engrossed in your project. And as we were saying that there on stage, when you don't have that feeling of, oh, I need to spend a few hours now learning a new tool, learning how to do things, because it's so intuitive, it's just fun. You can just go straight to the story. It's not about learning the tool and getting bogged down in the tech.
So this is the first time you and I have had a chance to talk. So how did you get into this? Were you always a video person? And how did you connect with Terri and her crew?
So my background is in broadcast journalism as a reporter. I was working in the Falkland Islands for a while, using big cameras to report on these lovely small feature stories where I really didn't need to use so much tech. And we were going back to the newsroom, editing on these big, very expensive suites. And I was thinking to myself, I came back to England and I was working for a news innovation site where mobile journalism stood out to me as an area that I thought, this is amazing because we're utilizing technology to tell stories faster, more efficiently and more creatively. So I learned about LumaFusion through Mojo Fest, done by Glenn Mulcahy. And basically I just got started teaching journalists across the world in how to shoot and edit beautiful stories on their smartphones. So I actually approached Terri during lockdown and I said, can I become a certified trainer? And Terri said, come and work for me. So, it was a really nice way of joining the company because I already was an editor with LumaFusion before I joined. So I kind of came in with a lot of enthusiasm because it completely changed the way I edited. I used to edit on desktop all the time. And as I say, in the Falklands, it's so unnecessary. We were just shooting with massive cameras, editing on big desktop. I could have got 5 stories out in the time it took me to do one. So it's nice that I could do that now on mobile.
Absolutely. And this is the first time I've heard of anybody getting a job during lockdown. So that's great. That's great. And you had to feel like you got a diamond in the rough when you found her. Oh my God.
Yeah, we were very, very lucky to have Carolyn. But what I think is fun about Carolyn is her verve for editing is infectious. So, it used to be like our team would be like, okay, we shoot something and then, we'll get around to editing it. And now it's like we shoot, we edit, we output, and it's all because of her.
So I have to ask, I felt it was an interesting choice for you to do a vertical video. I'm still afraid I'm a little old school, and I pardon me, and I like horizontal video, landscape. React to that. Is Am I really that old school, or is it just a matter of the right format for the right device?
I think it's the right format for the right device. Like there's definitely a place for both. I still love watching movies in landscape. I love 16:9, but it's a case of where are your audience going to be consuming your content. If they're on Instagram, you don't want to be having to watch, with black bars at the top and bottom just because Instagram's asking you to export in portrait, right? So it's about thinking where your content's going to go, who's consuming it, but also how they actually want to engage with your storytelling. Because if you're an influencer or you're a content creator and you're shooting portrait with your phone because you're bringing it out quickly and you're capturing stories, actually a lot of the time that doesn't call for these beautiful crafted stories that are all traditional how we want it. We want that authentic content. So there's a place for both in today's media landscape, and I think that it is a bit difficult to really kind of pull yourself away from those traditional means of shooting content in landscape. But it's nothing to be scared of. And I think there's a lot of traditional rules that still apply to portrait. You can still create well crafted. It's not all about, shoot, point, and just, it doesn't matter. It's about being really, proactive and being really thoughtful about what you're shooting and where it's going to go.
And that's thoughtful is the word, because I watched you create a portrait style video, but you were very aware that the subject was moving in and out of the frame, and so you made adjustments accordingly, and it turned out great. And so it opened my eyes a little bit, because I don't create in portrait, but now you make me think, well, maybe I could.
You absolutely could. And LumaFusion is accessible to everyone. And we have, journalists using it out in the field to create fast turnaround stories. But we also have people sitting down, and Amy from our team, she makes beautiful documentaries using LumaFusion with really long, complex timelines. So it's for everybody, whether you want to just get started with editing or whether you have been in the industry for, like Terri, 40 years and you actually want a tool that's going to enable you to get that content done and enjoy the process while you're at it.
So Terri, if I remember correctly, you're on your way to Mojo Fest?
Yes, we'll be going to Mojo Fest. Carolyn can't make it this year, but Amy and I and Andrew, both of our Andrews on our team will be there, and we're speaking it's right after the keynote. We're speaking about trust in AI, and so that's going to be really interesting. I have a lot to say about that. So
last time we got into that, I think we were there for an hour, and after we turned the camera off.
Yes, after we turned the camera off. Chuck and I had a nice, cordial conversation about AI.
The problem is she kind of ruined AI for me, because now if I use it anytime, I feel guilty, and I think of her. So, yes.
Well, that's our lunch breaks at work, okay, Chuck? That's every day we discuss it. No, but
speaking of lunch break, so on my birthday, I got this beautiful poem from the team. And I said, oh my God, who wrote this? It's beautiful. And they go, it was AI.
We did it on purpose.
Yeah, of course you did it on purpose. I love it. That's great. That's great.
Yeah. And it's really nice to be here this year. And we're going to go to as many talks and discussions as possible, speak to as many people. And I think, we're talking about AI, we're talking about mobile editing. It's just a great place where we can really get a range of perspectives and have lots of deep conversations like this and just take away lots back to the office. So.
I walk around the show floor and I'm just amazed at the power that is now in our hands. And not just from a size perspective, but also from a cost perspective and an ease of use perspective. That, to your point, you used to shoot with the big cameras when you really, I guess that was your only choice. Now you can do it with an iPhone or something even smaller and develop an amazing product even faster. So the world is changing, and I think for the better.
Yeah, it is all about the story. Like, it's not, when you see a video that's a nice story, a great story, you're not thinking about how it was cut, because the details are in the story itself and the fineness of the cutting. It's not in, whether or not you used $1 million system or not.
I tried to get Glenn on the show to promote Mojo Fest, but the schedules just didn't line up. So Please have a safe trip. I know it'll be an amazing show as always, but you two are always welcome back anytime to talk about anything you want to talk about. even AI, Terri.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
The website, of course, is
LumaTouch.com. Yep. And you can find us on YouTube,
Instagram, we're Create with Luma Touch. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, we're everywhere now. So we're posting more content and, having a lot of fun with it. So
excellent. Thank you so much, ladies. Great to see you.
Great to see you. Thank you.
Folks, more from NAB Show in Las Vegas. I'm Chuck Joyner. Thanks for watching. I told you it was going to be my favorite interview. Visit MacVoices.com for show notes and to connect with Chuck on social media. Get involved in our Facebook group or like our Facebook page, and get more out of your Apple tech with MacVoices Magazine, free on Flipboard and on the web. And if you find value in it all, consider supporting us through either our Patreon campaign at patreon.com/MacVoices or by making a one-time donation via the PayPal link on our front page and in the show notes of each episode. You will join these fine people who help bring you MacVoices. Advertising handled by Backbeat Media at backbeatmedia.com. Bandwidth provided by CashFly at cashfly.com.